All right, welcome to Prize Picks on 5 here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. Got David Eversole. You can follow him at David W. Eversole, and Eric Wadicki. You can follow him at Eric Wadicki. Make sure you download the Prize Picks app using the code 5, F-I-V-E. We'll download it first, then you can enter the code. That code will get you a match up to $100. There are no rollovers, so there's no tricks here or anything like that. You don't have to put down 100. I recommend putting down as much up to it as you can because the match only comes once. So go to prizepicks.com. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. Now, this is the fourth of our Super Bowl preview episodes. Make sure you check out the ones on the quarterbacks, the running backs, and also the receivers / tight ends. Today, we're going to get into the defenses and the kickers. And let's just start here. Both kickers, 1.5 field goals made. We know in the modern NFL that nobody likes to kick field goals anymore. Nobody likes to punt, which is the only thing that makes me nervous about this. But Eric, I saw you picked one of the kickers, I believe, and I picked the other. What was your thought process on it?
So I actually looked at the combo for 48-yarders in this game. I was looking at the fact that it's a dome. I think between Butker and Jake Moody, they'll at least make one long one.
The dome thing definitely plays into this here. 48 within both of their ranges. Eversole, maybe it was you. Did you like Butker? Was that who you went with?
Yeah, well, first of all, in this pick, I do like that. Butker's 5 for 5 over 50 yards, and Moody was 4 for 6. So, like you said, they both have the leg for it. But yeah, you gotta love Harrison Butker. I mean, honestly, I think right now he's the best kicker in the NFL. He only missed 2 kicks all season. He's perfect in the playoffs. 5 for 5 from past 50 yards. So yeah, I love this 1.5 field goal made. Andy Reid's not going to make the same mistakes that Dan Campbell made last week or 2 weeks ago, leaving points on the table. I think he's the best situational game managing coach in the league. He's going to take the points against a good San Francisco defense. So I love Butker over 1.5 field goals made in this game.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because Andy Reid used to be criticized for not being a good game manager, and now all of a sudden he's come out on the other side of this. He's become an expert in it because that was the big knock against him in Philadelphia, but it hasn't been there. I'm actually going to go on the other side for the kicking. I would play Butker, but I also I would play San Francisco there because for this reason. If you look at Kansas City's metrics this year defensively, they're very bend but not break. And so I can see some field goal opportunities there. I think Shanahan will take the points in most of those situations. So I would play Moody over the 1.5. All right, going over to the defensive side here. A few things that we can look at. But Eric, you and I jumped all over this one. Chris Jones, 1/4 of a sack? He's going to get half a sack, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Brock Purdy doesn't really have the escapability of a Patrick Mahomes on the other side, even though he probably has arguably as good of an offensive line. Chris Jones is going to get involved in something today, or on Sunday, whether it's a full sack, a half a sack, he's going to get to the quarterback. It's just too good value to pass up as a demon.
And I like that one. The other one, well, I'll get to Snead in a second here because that's another one I think there's some correlation that we all like him. I did not play Boza. I don't know. Maybe I just don't want to. I feel like there's a little bit of a bias there. Eversole, do you see anything on the Kansas City defense that you would play?
Well, I was looking at the secondary with the tackles. Obviously, these guys are going to be running around in the secondary, meaning the 49ers receivers. So I would look at maybe the tackle numbers from the cornerback spot, maybe McDuffie over 4.5 or Snead over the 4.5 tackles. I think the problem is deciding which one of those two gets the share of the tackles at the corner spot. But I think they're going to be busy in the secondary. I didn't see any safety plays on the tackles yet for Kansas City, but San Francisco does have Jair Brown at 6 tackles and assists on the other side.
Yeah, I would play Snead over the 4.5. They're going to bring him up to play the run too. I think they'll run some corner blitzes. I would play him over 4.5. He's active. He's going to be around the ball. When I went over to the other side, I took a look at San Francisco. Fred Warner's 8 tackle number is interesting. He's always busy. I feel like, to me, he's going to be spying Mahomes a lot. So I don't know how many he gets there. Eric, is there anything on your San Francisco defensive side you would play?
On the San Francisco defensive side, it would probably be centered around Fred Warner for the reasons that you mentioned. But defensively, I kind of find myself staying away from San Francisco a little bit, just because with Mahomes on the other side, the sack numbers, Mahomes is going to get out of like 3 or 4 potential sacks on Sunday.
Right.
It's just I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not touching San Francisco right now defensively.
Well, this is a kind of a defensive prop, even though they have it as a quarterback prop. Total interceptions in this game, 1.5 between Mahomes and Purdy. I'm playing it over.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
No,
Purdy might do it himself.
Yeah, Purdy. I think Purdy might end up doing it himself if they don't drop those picks like the Lions did.
Yeah, I think so also. And look, Mahomes will take a chance at some point. He's had some weird picks. He's not as careful with the ball. And here's the other thing. Don't be surprised if there's a tipped ball interception on his side too. When he's not throwing it to Kelsey, if he's throwing it to one of his receivers, or miscommunication. I just don't trust any of their receivers other than Rashee Rice. So that could play out that way. All right, guys, before we go here, and again, make sure we're going to do our final cards here prior to the game on Sunday. So check out that last episode again. Everybody use the code 5FIVE. Anything else I missed? Eric, David, you got another one you like?
Arik Armstead over 2.5 tackles for San Francisco. Okay. Been over that 7 out of 11 games this season. I feel like he's a disruptor there in the middle of the line. So I'm going to take him over 2.5 tackles plus assists.
All right.
Last but not least, I like Nick Bolton. Highest number on the board, 8.5 tackles plus assists. Nick Bolton in the 3 games prior to the game against Baltimore, he had 13, 10, and 13 for total tackles. I think he goes over that again with the San Francisco team that likes to work the middle of the field.
All right. So those are the ones we like. Again, we're going to combine them with the quarterback ones, receivers, and running backs. We'll take a look. Andy sent on those episodes as well. Make sure you check out those episodes. We'll be rolling all those out here again.
All right. Looks like we lost Ethan for a second there. Let's see if we can get him back.
There he is.
You back with us, E? All right, he's out. So sign up with promo code 5. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, guys.